Good evening, I'm Katerina Georgieva. Here's what's making news right now.
Some goes to public health units, some goes to primary care, some will go to pharmacies, of course. Pharmacies are going to continue to be great partners with us.
That's where their homes are. They've built their lives there. They've built their entire living there. And now the only reason that they're forced to leave is because it's between life and death.
This whole suit is made out of EVA foam, which is the regular stuff like floor mats that you'd find at a gym or something. I cut it literally with just a box knife you buy at Home Depot and stick it together with contact cement and spray paint it.
Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with the latest on vaccines for kids. The first shipment of Pfizer-BioNTech's shots for that age group has reached Canada just days after Health Canada approved it. It's the first delivery of more than 2.9 million doses expected to arrive by the end of this week. The vials in these containers are meant for children 5 to 11. Pfizer says clinical trials have shown its pediatric vaccine to be nearly 91% effective at preventing COVID-19 for that age group. The amount authorized for kids is 1/3 of the dose given to anyone 12 and older. The vaccine is also designed to be stored at normal refrigeration temperatures longer. Health experts also say they are reassured by the broader impact vaccinating kids will have in the fight against COVID-19.
Anybody who has young kids knows what happens is your kids get sick and then they pass it on to you. And now that we're all out and about more than we were a year ago, kids are going to get sick, and we're seeing kids representing a growing proportion of new cases. So if we want the number of new cases to stop growing, if we want to get those numbers down, vaccinating kids is the main mechanism by which we are going to be able to do that now.
Healthcare professionals will be using some different strategies to vaccinate this new younger cohort. Pediatricians, family doctors, and pharmacies will be part of the solution. Many vaccination clinics are looking at ways to put kids at ease, including having therapy dogs in some places. Bookings are now open here in Windsor, Essex. Children can get their shots as early as Thursday. Gas was once again detected in Wheatley. The municipality of Chatham-Kent's posted online that it was at the same location as the other 4 occasions at the center of the evacuation zone. That's around where an explosion took place a few months ago. They were able to capture a sample for analysis. And according to officials, 8 hours after the release, there was no longer any gas detected in that area. Temporary access to homes within the evacuation zone will continue as planned. The man charged in connection with an explosion at the Windsor Assembly plant remains in custody. The bail hearing expected this morning was moved to Friday. Earlier this month, a suspicious package detonated inside the facility. The company says it happened in an unused area of the plant. The man is charged with multiple offenses, including intent to cause explosion likely to cause serious bodily harm or death. A Windsor woman from Afghanistan is speaking out about the plight her people face in that country. Benazir Hidari is part of the 3rd largest ethnic group in Afghanistan, the Hazara. Hidari says her people have faced persecution and genocide for generations because of their religious beliefs.
Now that the U.S. has left, the threat that was already existing and the violence that was already existing has gone to an exponential level, where now Hazaras have absolutely no protection, and the Taliban can repeat what they did in the 90s, perhaps to an even greater extent. So that's why we say the threat of mass extinction is now a reality for Hazaras in Afghanistan. The issue that my family is facing now is even if they do manage to exit, which is already hard enough, the world is not recognizing that Hazaras are more vulnerable than anyone like other people in Afghanistan. So, a lot of countries recognize that artists, women are in a lot of danger, but they're not recognizing that ethnicity also plays a major role for Hazaras in the danger that they face in Afghanistan.
Hidari has lived in Canada since she was 4 years old. She says her family in Afghanistan is living in even greater fear since the Taliban took over. An update now to a months-long optometrist dispute with the provincial government. Eye exams will resume for children and seniors starting tomorrow as job action is paused. Optometrists withdrew provincially insured eye services at the beginning of September due to a funding dispute with the province. The Ontario Association of Optometrists has resumed formal negotiations with the government. Eye doctors say the province has been underfunding eye care for almost 3 decades. Health Minister Christine Elliott offered a one-time $39 million payment to optometrists, but the OAO has in the past said it was not enough. A LaSalle teenager's creativity is getting him some attention. He created a super realistic video game-inspired mechanical suit, getting him a starring role in a Nerf gun video. He credits the pandemic for kicking off his interest that led to this creation.
My name is Nathan Tebbins, and I like building random stuff in my basement. So this suit here is a Master Chief suit from the video game Halo 3. The specific armor set is called Mjolnir Mark 6. This whole suit is made out of EVA foam, which is the regular stuff like floor mats that you'd find at a gym or something. I cut it literally with just a box knife you buy at Home Depot and stick it together with contact cement. The only complex part really is this helmet, which is 3D printed. I had to print it in pieces because my printer is fairly small. My 3D CAD skills are very primitive, so I do use a lot of other people's resources. They put them online for free. Aaron Esser, who's a Canadian, lives near Grand Bend, who makes Nerf point of view videos, was looking for someone with a Master Chief suit to make a video related to Halo for the new game that's going to release on December 8th.
So I'm a big Halo fan, and the Master Chief suit's like the most iconic thing from the game, and he definitely nailed it.
Since the videos went out, I've gotten comments from people all over the world. You know, people are saying hi from Brazil and New Zealand. I mean, most of my audience is from Canada.
Nathan is very driven. He has a lot of initiative. He's a self-starter. He finishes a task at hand no matter how complicated it is. It's really just bringing a lot of that out when he does these kind of creations, because it has a lot of reward if he can stick through it to the end.
Do you play video games?
I play somewhat video games. Like, I've played Halo a bunch of times. I've tried to get into a couple of other things, but I haven't really had a whole lot of time to dive into that yet.
So it's more about having things in the real world for you as opposed to like sitting in your study and doing stuff.
Yeah, as cool as it is to have it in the video game, having it in real life, and especially because it's something I've made myself, that's just something that like most video game fans would just dream of having it in real life, and I'm able to do that, so I do.
CBC News has learned that 30 provincial inspectors who check that skilled tradespeople are qualified are getting laid off. It stems from a decision by the Ford government and comes despite the Premier's promise of no public sector layoffs. Our Queen's Park reporter Mike Crawley has the story.
Whether it's auto mechanics, electricians, plumbers, or crane operators, to do those jobs in this province, skilled tradespeople must be licensed. And enforcing those credentials is done by inspectors for the Ontario College of Trades. Like Terry Dorgan, that's been his job for more than 8 years. He got a layoff notice last week.
Gutted, betrayed, lied to.
Why does Dorgan feel that way?
Well, Doug Ford promised no one would lose their job. You know, when he said he was winding down the College of Trade to place something better, he said no one will lose their job.
Indeed, Doug Ford said that often during his run to become Premier.
Under our government, I'm going to reinforce this, not one single person will lose their job. I'm going to say it again and again, no one will lose their job. No one, and I repeat, no one will lose their job.
30 inspectors on the public payroll face losing their jobs come February. Their layoff notices say it's as a result of government decisions.
The College of Trades was a disaster, in my opinion.
The government is replacing the College of Trades with a renamed agency. It's keeping most of its staff, yet not the inspectors.
Those same inspectors can be rehired. They can apply for, I think it's 70 or 90 positions that we're hiring new inspectors.
But those jobs have already been filled. The Ministry of Labour is taking over enforcement from the College of Trades, yet is not hiring the people currently doing that work.
We'd like an explanation, a clear explanation or that's a violation of the labor law and an unfair labor practice, in my opinion.
The inspectors are represented by the Public Service Employees Union, OPSU. Its president told me that he's confident the union can work together with the government to find them jobs. Mike Crawley, CBC News, Toronto.
The House of Commons is reconvening after nearly 5 months, and the first order of business was to elect a speaker. And as is tradition, re-elected Ontario Liberal MP Anthony Rota was dragged to his seat by the Prime Minister and the opposition leader. But both the Liberal government and the opposition parties are already at odds on multiple fronts. Contentious issues include how the Commons itself functions. Liberals, New Democrats and Greens are in favor of continuing of the hybrid format of virtual and in-person sitting, but the Conservatives and Bloc Québécois want the MPs to fully return to in-person like how it was pre-pandemic. Another issue is the vaccine mandates for parliamentarians. After weeks of non-answers, Erin O'Toole revealed that all Conservative MPs are now either vaccinated or have secured a medical exemption. Getting vaccinated against COVID-19 came with some additional perks for one Windsor woman. This morning, she got a surprise of a lifetime when a brand new Chrysler Pacifica rolled into her driveway. She won the grand prize in the We Vax to Win campaign.
Oh my God! You gotta be kidding me! It's wonderful!
It's true.
I don't believe this.
Made right here in Windsor, too.
Take a look. Take a look at that beauty. It is.
Electric fur.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's beautiful. No way.
This is yours. Yes.
No. I don't know. I'm so nervous. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. Oh.
Have you ever won anything big like this before?
No, never. When they said I won a prize, I said, oh, well, you know, maybe we got movie tickets. Oh my God.
It was just, she had no idea, and you could tell by the look on her face when she opened the door. She was completely surprised. She knew who I was, but she didn't know why I was there. But we had worked out in advance with her husband, and the hard part for him was to keep secret for almost a week while we organized the delivery of the van. So, you know, the look on her face and the genuine heartfelt thanks, you could see it just in her face. She wasn't sure what to do. It's the biggest thing Kathleen's ever won, as she said, and it's certainly the biggest prize I've ever got to deliver. So I'm really happy for her, happy for her family, and thankful that she's vaccinated.
Just beautiful.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. I can't believe this. Well, it said movie tickets and well, I saw one was a marriage license in Tecumseh. I said, well, I hope we don't win that. We don't need that. Yeah, there was like different prizes, and I kept hoping for the grandkid. Maybe we'd get the tuition, but that was gone already. So I said, you know, I don't think there's anything good left.
Love seeing that joy. All right, now take a look at this. We had a fox sighting in Tecumseh. This was posted by the Southport Sailing Club over the weekend. Now, I lived in Charlottetown for a while, and we used to see foxes all the time, and I have never seen a fox out here. So this is pretty neat. So we're going to let you enjoy that sweet face. And when we come back, Colette Kennedy will be here with your weather forecast. Welcome back. More heavy rain is in the forecast for parts of BC this week as it tries to recover from catastrophic flooding. And that rainfall could push up water levels again in hard-hit flood zones like Abbotsford. Renee Filipponi has more on the recovery effort as residents brace for more extreme weather.
It's a race against time to shore up the dikes in Abbotsford and protect the Sumas Prairie. More rain is on the way this week, and officials are hoping the work that's been done will be enough to prevent more flooding.
I'm feeling much better today than I did 48 hours ago. And there's a lot of moving parts, but this is a very fluid situation even as we speak. And we're not out of this by a long shot.
The fight to save farm animals is also key as the rescue efforts continue. Feed trucks wade through deep water to bring food to the animals that are stranded. And community members carry on with their mission to get essential supplies to those cut off by the floods.
We've got stuff from like canned goods, cookies and sheets.
Pilots are volunteering their time and money for gas to help transport the goods.
That's just one hangar that we have full of food, and it just keeps coming. Every time we think that that's it, we won't be able to get any more out because we don't have any more food shows up.
There's a lot of hard work ahead, but we are making progress thanks to the big hearts of so many people.
There is some good news for residents in Merritt after the city was evacuated. Officials say some residents whose homes were assessed as safe will be allowed back soon.
Thanks to the exceptional work of staff, we're one step closer to getting you there.
The water continues to be tested in Merritt, and the water treatment facility is coming back online. And today, Air Canada announced it would nearly double its cargo capacity to help with supply shortages and increase the availability of flights into and out of Kamloops and Kelowna to help people get around the road closures. Renee Filipponi, CBC News, Vancouver.
And now some happy news related to the ongoing emergency in British Columbia. A newborn on Vancouver Island is reportedly healthy and well after being born in a traffic jam caused by a sinkhole near Nanaimo.
Honestly didn't think it was going to happen this way by any means. I thought I was silly for calling 911 because I still felt like we had time until the ambulance got there, and it was like a minute contractions. Thank goodness they got there when they did.
How was he?
Panicked. Yeah, a little panicked, yeah.
Yeah, panic, no kidding. The couple says the moments before their baby girl's birth were tense. Highway traffic was at a standstill because of that sinkhole in Lanceville, just north of Nanaimo. The couple called an ambulance en route when mom's contractions got stronger. First responders were there in about 5 minutes. Riley Jane Applin was born Friday morning in the ambulance on the side of Highway 19. Baby, mom, and dad are all doing fine. Colette Kennedy joins us now for a look at weather, but I have to comment on that story, Colette, because what an unbelievable birth story to share.
I know, it brings tears to my eyes. It's such a beautiful story, and that sweet little baby looks so cute.
And that everybody's okay, thank goodness.
That's exactly it, right? And with all that's going on there and all the trouble and disaster, then to have something so special like that come out of it. So that's a lovely story here. Let's tell you our weather story now and take a look at our conditions and what we can expect coming our way. Notice the difference here between Windsor at 1, Chatham-Kent at -3, Sarnia at -1. And you know, when we have this cooler air and it's passing over the relatively warmer waters of the lake, we always put it like that because, I mean, you don't exactly want to go for a dip. I'm not saying people don't, but you don't exactly when they're this cool. So the temperatures of the lakes are around about 8-9 degrees or so. Lake Erie slightly warmer, obviously, than Lake Huron. And when we get that water that's warmer with that cooler air passing over, then we see our lake effect streamers setting up. So we're doing fine here, but if you have any travel plans that are going to be taking you northeast of Windsor or even around London through that area, you can get into very quickly, highly localized, but these whiteout conditions. And so through these areas, there are snow squall warnings. The potential is there for 25 to 30 centimeters, but in general, I think they're looking at, because the bands have been shifting a bit, so in most cases, places it'll be probably closer to that 10 centimeters. Again, we have some quieter conditions and seeing clearer skies, with that exception of if you're headed over towards London or watching from that region. And that's where we see even some flurries into tomorrow, if possible, but they would be much shorter lived and lighter in nature because our winds will be backing off as we go into, even by tomorrow morning, those winds getting a little more comfortable. Now, as we go through the day tomorrow, we have sun, then we get into Wednesday, increase in cloudiness, and that is ahead of a system that by Wednesday night into Thursday is when I anticipate the shower activity coming our way. But I say showers because our temperatures will be coming up. They're not coming up. They're going down tonight, -6 tomorrow morning. Have the kids wrapped up because it's going to feel like about -10 before we get things going. And once we get them going, we're not going too far with that high of 4 degrees, 2 degrees there in London. We do much better with the temperatures as we get towards midweek with that next system coming in. But then end of the week, weekend, we're going to dip right on back down there, Katerina.
Inching closer and closer to December with these numbers.
Exactly.
Thanks for this, Colette.
Yeah, you're welcome.
When we come back, a fashion show to send a message about the environment. And for that, we're going to take you to Tel Aviv. Stay with us. We have new details about the deadly incident in Wisconsin yesterday that left 5 people dead, 48 others injured. Police say the driver was fleeing a domestic disturbance before his SUV plowed into a crowd at a Christmas parade. The suspect is in custody, and the police are not looking at this as a terrorist attack. Chris Glover has more.
Police said they are confident the driver of the SUV acted alone.
We have information that the suspect prior to the incident was involved in a domestic disturbance, which was just minutes prior, and the suspect left that scene just prior to our arrival.
The suspect, 39-year-old Daryl Brooks, is facing 5 counts of intentional homicide.
Yeah, I can help.
In the panic and confusion at the parade route yesterday, Jaden Singsheim was separated from his mother.
Mom, get over here. Are you okay? What happened? There's shots fired. Everybody get out. Mom!
One of the dance troops in the parade, the Dancing Grannies, confirmed members of its club were among those killed.
What I saw out of chaos and tragedy was heroes. First responders and the community coming together and working together.
The mayor said a vigil today would help bring families together.
We will help those who experience the loss of a loved one or were injured. We will work together to bring healing. The healing needs to begin now.
There's been an outpouring of support from all over the country, from professional sports teams and players to President Joe Biden, who offered condolences. And eyewitness accounts suggest many will need emotional support.
I saw, maybe 3 people right in front of me get hit. I saw people right away run to the people that were hit and start doing CPR. And I saw people on the ground, there's blood. It was really bad.
The Christmas tree behind her, a poignant reminder this happened at a holiday parade where there were so many children performing and just waiting to see Santa Claus. Classes at the local schools will be canceled again tomorrow, and grief counselors will try to help children and their families come to grips with the tragedy. Chris Glover, CBC News, Washington.
People in Austria are back in full lockdown, their 4th since the pandemic began. The streets are empty in Salzburg, where people have been told to work from home and only go out if necessary. All non-essential businesses are closed. COVID-19 cases have seen a sharp increase right across Europe in recent weeks. An Israeli fashion show turned out to be mostly garbage, and that's exactly what the organizers were hoping for. Participants staged an informal parade at the Tel Aviv port, decked in clothing made from trash salvaged from the beach. Items included a jacket festooned with discarded cigarette butts and dresses made from plastic bags and cardboard. Even a bridal gown with a bubble wrap veil. The organizers wanted to send a message about the impact of discarded trash on the environment. And they're encouraging people to buy secondhand instead of fast fashion items. And that is it for CBC Windsor News. Don't forget, for news anytime, you can go to our website, cbc.ca/Windsor. You can find us on social media as well. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The Rick Mercer Report is up next. Have a great night.